Oh my god. We're under a blanket. Thanks, Johnny. So today's goal is to finish breaking the symmetry on these two bugs. Originally the bug was a flip, just as a placeholder. I broke the symmetry on the arms, so you can see that they're not matching. But now I need to replace the halberd, because the halberd was a flip. And the only other weapon these guys use is like a spear made out of energy strings. So I'm going to render the energy strings today. That is the goal. The energy strings are kind of funny because I think they're supposed to mimic the hairs that are coming out of the pest's back. So instead of like, you know, instead of looking like energy, a lot of them just look like hair, which is kind of cool. They look like glowing hair. I don't know if I'm feeling this playlist or not. We'll see what the next song is. We'll see. I'm not feeling it. Guys, I'm not feeling it. Let's try this one. Oh, immediately better. Immediately better. Nothing better than coffee is coffee under a blanket. Oh, yes. cool. Discworld's a cool IP. Can you guys hear me okay? Just making sure the blanket's not fucking with the microphone. By the way, if I started a channel of me playing video games like this and I called it Blanket Fort Gaming, we'd be at 1 million subs in 6 months. If I was playing Baldur's Gate under a blanket, guys, we'd be printing money. If you hear me taking screenshots, I don't know if that audio plays or not. It's because I like a song and I want to add it to my gym playlist. Because I've got the lo-fi beats playlist going in another window. So if the title pops up that I like, I take a quick screenshot and I add it to my Spotify later. This particular playlist has a lot of stuff that I enjoy. I don't know what to call it, the high bass beats that don't really have any snare. They're like dum dum, like those with like the spooky kind of like spacey beats. I like those a lot. I like the very high bass kind of zone out synth wave. Oh yeah, we should do Final Fantasy 1 under a blanket. Yes. 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 Right there. This is exactly the music I want, always. This right here. This is all I want. Oh man, this is like, yeah. Yes. It's a good idea. The Final Fantasy 1 stream is happening, and it's probably happening right after Christmas. We're going to do the whole game, and we're going to take 1 million screenshots, because the next personal piece I'm going to do is going to be something I drew in college. It's a big composition. It's going to take probably a whole year for me to do it, because it's 4 pieces that are like as detailed as the one I'm doing right now. But it's a Final Fantasy 1 piece that I've been wanting to do forever. We're gonna do it in clip, But yeah, I want to play the game again first and get all the reference I need to do it. I'm very excited to do it. Now that I have contacts at Square Enix who like my artwork. I'm just gonna do it and then just give it to them. And then if they want to do anything with it, they can. But yeah, I'm just gonna do it because it's been bothering me. I really, really, really want to paint it. It's just an idea that I've had forever. Yeah. I would take that deal. I would take that deal in a heartbeat. I hope everybody listened to Dave's talk today with Marko Derjovic. That was a good talk. It was a very good talk. This like energy spear is so such a weird design, but I love it. If you Google pest threads, you'll find it. It's like an arrow made out of like energy hair. Kind of the only other thing I could give these guys, because I couldn't do two halberds and they don't really have any other attacks. What an awesome baseline. When stuff is energy based, I usually render it like it's a physical form, and then I use overlay layers to like punch up the brightness in the middle with like a fuzzy brush, and that usually makes it look convincing enough. Sometimes I might erase things around the edges, but it's usually pretty good. I want to start a podcast for art called Con Artists, where it's just artists who make their money at conventions. And I want to trick a ton of people into thinking it's me interviewing criminals, but then it's really just like me talking to like Nusha Gosemi. Today we're talking to one of the most successful con artists in American history. Made over $1 million. It's Art Germ. It's Sakimi-chan. Oh my god, we could call it BFG Gaming, the stream, guys. And everybody would think it's a Doom reference, like Big Fucking Gun. But it would be Blanket Fort Gaming. Guys. We'd be printing cash, guys. We could sell blankets to people, too. With my art on them. My video game related artwork on blankets that we sell to people that watch us play games under a blanket. Guys. What's up, Marty? Very good, Nicholas. Very good thinking. Listen to that fat bass. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh my god, there's still glare. Gotta stay under a blanket where it's safe, guys. Anybody watch the Star Citizen gameplay thing that came out today? I got a hot take about that. $10 and millions of dollars for what is essentially Star Fox 64. with really good cutscenes and celebrities. I did not think it was going to be a stationary on-rails shooter. It was literally Star Fox 64. Your friend flies past you and he goes, "Get these guys off my tail!" And you go, "Okay." You do that. "Thanks, that was a close one. Enemy bombers incoming." I mean, yeah, I know later in the demo he picks up a gun and it becomes a first-person shooter, but like, I don't know. It looks like a bunch of average games stitched together with celebrities. It looks like an average Star Fox clone, an average like Mass Effect, you know, Dead Space shooter type thing. I didn't see anything, I don't know, I didn't see anything that felt super unique. Or like it had a signature to it. And like the ratio of cutscenes to actual gameplay was like, it would have made Hideo Kojima proud, let me put it that way. In that hour-long video that Sharky just linked, there's maybe 20 minutes of gameplay. Maybe I'm wrong about Star Citizen, but I didn't think it was supposed to be like that type of game. I didn't think it was supposed to be a narrative campaign-driven experience. I thought Star Citizen was supposed to be like, I don't know, like a very open, almost like EVE Online, but I thought it was supposed to be like a sim, basically. But maybe that's my mistake. Maybe it never was supposed to be that. Or is Star Citizen like... Is Star Citizen a franchise already without having anything released yet? Like, are they making multiple games underneath the umbrella of Star Citizen? Are they like franchising out before they even create their first thing? Is Squadron 42 gonna be a game in the Star Citizen fucking umbrella? Oh, Jesus. So they're creating a franchise out of something they haven't even sold yet. That is a recipe for disaster. So here's my guess, because obviously I don't know anything about this. Did they start to make Star Citizen and then realize it was going to cost too much money and take too long? So they flipped a bunch of assets they had generated into Squadron 42? Are they going to sell Squadron 42 as a way to make up money to finish Star Citizen proper? Because Star Citizen never released, right? Like, to this day, it still hasn't come out? Or am I incorrect about that? It's a forever beta. Can you even play it though? Is it like Baldur's Gate 3 pre-launch where like you can actually play the game? Like what is it? What is the game? What is Star Citizen? You can play it? Okay. That's all I needed to know, is if there was something you could actually play. Okay. I definitely don't get the appeal, but it was never for me, so... If you're a big fan, I hope it's fun, and I hope you like it. And I hope it's everything you want it to be. $700 million and they can't finish it. That's wild. But I guess you're right. Maybe they don't want to finish it. Maybe they want it to be like a living game. Because if you finish it, then you gotta, like, you know, move on to the next thing. But if you just make it a forever game, then you're set. It's funny that Nintendo can release Banjo-Tooie on the Switch online DLC thing, and it's just a Banjo-Kazooie game that I never played when it came out, but I love the first one. It's crazy that Nintendo can do that like 30 years later, and I'm more hyped for that than Star Citizen. That's just wild to me. Like, oh sweet, a chance to finally play Banjo-Tooie. Sick. $700 million space sim? I'm good. Let me tell you how much I need. I'm never gonna get this, but let me tell you how much I need. Whatever you want to call that art style Nintendo came up with for Mario and Luigi Brothership, that like ink wash with watercolor style, it looks so fucking good, guys. If you haven't seen it, fuck, that art style looks good. Can't believe how good that looks. Anyway, I need that. I need it in a Dragon Quest III remake. Or even a Dragon Quest I remake. I need to see an Akira Toriyama game where the game actually looks like his drawings. Or a Chrono Trigger remake. Oh. Like, I need that style. That watercolory style is so good. Has the sun moved on yet? Has it? Oh my god, it has. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm free. I'm free from my blanket prison, guys. Oh! And you have a new angle, because I actually moved my shit. Wow, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll frame my head like here. Wow. Excellent. I'm sorry the blanket was loud. I didn't mean it. Oh. That's right. Always with you, Johnny. I gotta get back to last winter when I was depressed and I was streaming like 10 hours a day. I gotta figure out how to be sad again. I got a sad max. Depression maxing. I do, I need to, Johnny. It's the only way, Johnny. I was so focused when I was sad. I got so much more work done when I was miserable. It's a roll of the dice. It's a roll of the dice, Sharky. You might have something that might actually do it. Let's hear it. It's okay if you don't have anything, Sharky. It might even be better. It's okay, buddy. No need to post it. I understand, Sharky. What's up, Don Bologna? Good to see you. I don't know if you're a Bologna or a Bologna. I'm gonna go with Don Bologna because it kind of rhymes a little bit. You know what they say. Better Don Bologna than Don Balafia. Promising start to a song. When the bass drops, it better be like a... It better be. There we go. Absolutely. 100%. Hope you're doing well too, Don. I don't want to watch the new Crow. I don't even want to watch the old Crow. I never liked the Crow. I always thought the Crow was cringe, even as a child. Oh, yeah. There's a whole universe of things the fan base ruins. Like Rick and Morty. Oh, I'm my own type of cringe. Just listen to the audiobooks. But I'm not... There's two universes of cringe. There's sincere cringe where you love something and it's embarrassing. That's more me. And then there's I think I'm cool cringe. Like, I could be guilty of I love something too much and it's nerdy cringe, or I try too hard cringe, like effort cringe. I'm definitely guilty of that. The stuff like The Crow and stuff like Slipknot, it falls into the category of I think I'm cool cringe. Like ego cringe. Like that stuff, I will never be guilty of. That stuff is crazy embarrassing. Like, here's okay, so here's two good examples. In The Batman, the new one, with Robert Pattinson, there's a little tease at the end of the Joker, and it's an actor who shouldn't be playing the Joker, and he's trying his best to, like, do a Heath Ledger, and it's cringe because he's trying too hard. He's trying too hard to be something. It's the same cringe you get when you see people do the Joker on, like, Instagram or, like, TikTok. That's a type of cringe where he's just trying too hard to be something, and it's like, ugh, gross. But then you take the Jared Leto Joker. It's also cringe, but it's cringe for a totally different reason. It's cringe because you can tell Jared Leto thinks he's actually fucked up and psycho and crazy. He actually thinks he's being cool. The kid at the end of The Batman, he's just trying to be Heath Ledger. And it's cringe, because you're not Heath Ledger. And you're embarrassed for him, because you're like, ah, that's too bad. The Jared Leto Joker, you cringe because you're like, he thinks he's nailing this. he sits in front of a mirror and he tries to pretend he's crazy for an hour before the shoot starts, and he actually thinks. It's like, I don't know anything about that actor, Sharky. I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about what he's done, what he's said. I have no idea. I just know that he doesn't look like a person or sound like a person or act like a person who should be in the role of the Joker. That's all I know. I don't know anything about him. I think the only other thing I've ever seen that actor in is maybe was he in the Eternals? But anyway, two different types of cringe. Two different types of cringe. One is from trying too hard, and one is from believing your own hype and thinking you're the best when you're not. But both are cringe. Whichever one is more cringy to you could vary. For me, thinking you're cool cringe is always the most embarrassing one. Because I was raised in Boston, where if you have an ego, you get the shit kicked out of you. But yeah. People that think they're cool, I can't. I just can't. I saw a really good, a really cool behind-the-scenes thing about Heath Ledger's Joker performance with the guy that played what was his name? Gamble? He's the guy that played Black Dynamite, that actor. I believe he was also Spawn. Fuck, what's that guy's name? I saw a really good interview with him about how much he hates the rumor where everybody tried to romanticize Heath Ledger's death by being like, oh, he committed too hard to the bit of the Joker and it drove him crazy and he killed himself. Like, he's like, I fucking hate that rumor so much. And the reason he hates it is because he was talking about how Heath Ledger was like really insecure about being able to do that role. And after every take, he would like sit down with everybody and ask them like, was that cool? Do you think like that Tom Waits voice works? Or do you think it's too like embarrassing? Or like, was I going too hard on that? Or like, I don't know, when I lean in and I smile at you, did that feel threatening or did it just feel kind of lame? And like, I guess after every take, he would actually like get really nervous that it wasn't good enough and he would get feedback from everyone and then he'd fine tune it. And that actor was like, I fucking hate these stupid internet people that are making this romantic rumor about the role consuming him and killing him, when in fact, he was like nervous the whole time that he wasn't doing it well enough. And he was constantly slipping in and out of character to ask us how to make it better and to get feedback from the whole crew on what to do to make it cooler. And like, I think that comes through in the performance. It doesn't feel embarrassing. People imitating that role and imitating what he did with it feels embarrassing. But you can tell that he actually like, he cares about it. He doesn't think he's cool. He gives a shit. And like, I always wondered why that was the case, because that would be such an easy role to become cringe. And I think it's because of that. Yeah, Michael J. White, yeah. I think it must have been because of that, because he was really, really humble about it, and he was constantly checking in with his other actors and, you know, stage people about like, hey, is there a way to do this thing better? I don't think I'm doing the best possible job. How do we make this even better? That's really cool. But yeah. How many types of cringe are there? There's cringe where the person thinks they're cool. There's cringe where the person's trying way too hard. there's visual cringe, where a person just doesn't realize that they look a certain way. There's shared embarrassment cringe, where a person just fails at something and you feel it. Seeing them fail makes you empathize with how embarrassed they must feel from failing. What else? The blanket is gone. The sun moved away. We're discussing the various types of cringe. I'm trying to figure out how many types of cringe there are. I think secondhand cringe is actually a form of empathy. Like if somebody goes on stage and trips and everybody laughs and you cringe, I think it's not because you're laughing at them, it's because you're imagining how it must feel to be in that position. I think that's actually a form of empathy. First message didn't send for some reason. If there was a flagged word in it, it might have been removed automatically. And the list of flagged words on YouTube is like crazy now, so try rewording it and ask again. It might have been instantly blocked by the YouTube auto moderation bot. Cringe has evolved to ick. Ick can be cringe, but not all cringe is ick. Ick is more like it goes beyond cringe to like a repulsion. Like, you can cringe and still, like, have empathy for somebody. Like, you can see someone embarrass themselves and be like, oh, I feel so bad for them. And, like, you still care about the person and, like, you want to, like, help them out because you're so, like, you feel bad for what they're going through. Ick is like a repulsion. If someone gives you the ick, you don't usually have empathy. It's usually like a disgust. It's like, ugh, like I want to get away from it. You can see something cringy and not want to run away. Ick is usually like, get away. Ick's not just about dating. People use it in dating context a lot because like someone getting the ick is like it's like a evolution of red flag. Like, people used to look out for red flags all the time, but now it's like, he did something that made me uncomfortable, and it wasn't necessarily a red flag, but it made me feel icky. It gave me the ick. You know, like, talking about an ex-person you dated is a red flag. Like, if you're, like, talking shit about someone you used to date on a date, it's a red flag, because it means that, number one, you might not be over them, and number two, it's just kind of disrespectful because the other person now knows that if things go south, you'll probably be talking about them that way in the future. So it's not a deal breaker necessarily, but it's definitely a red flag. The ick is more like if I blew my nose and wiped it on my sleeve on a date without even thinking. If I just like blew my nose, got embarrassed, and just, you know, wiped it, a girl might feel grossed out by that and just be like, you know, he seemed like a nice guy. There were no, like, red flags necessarily, but I got the ick. A lot of girls, well, I'm generalizing girls too much because I'm a straight white guy, but like, a lot of people feel that way about certain activities, like video games. I've had friends tell me that, you know, they got an ick from a person because they talk too much about, like, Fortnite or Minecraft on a date. They're like, yeah, they're a really nice person, but they wouldn't shut up about Minecraft, and it kind of gave me the ick. And, like, I've heard that kind of thing, but, yeah. Trying to see if Don Bologna's message. Oh, if you said the word dick, they might have blocked it, Don. There is cringe when a person's just like... When a person is so needlessly mean, it's embarrassing. Like when someone tries to be like an alpha by putting everybody else down, and it makes them look really, really beta. Because the anger doesn't come off as threatening, it comes off as insecurity. That's definitely a form of cringe. Yeah, he seemed nice, but his phone didn't have a case on it. That's a good example of, like, it's not really something, like, it's not serious enough to merit being a red flag. It's just something people see and they don't like. So they just say, it gave me the ick. And it's not exclusive to girls. I've gotten the ick from people on dates before. I wouldn't use the term, you know, I got the ick outside of this conversation we're having on stream where I'm trying to define what it is for you. Like, that's not something in my, like, day-to-day vernacular. I'd just be like, you know, didn't work out. I wasn't super attracted to this one thing they did, or I usually resort to the vibes were off. I don't use the word ick, but yeah. I had one person tell me that they got the ick from me because on the drive home from a date, all the songs that were on my Spotify were by male performers. I didn't have enough female singers on my Spotify playlist, and it made them think that I was like secretly misogynistic. And I was like, okay. Which works out because someone going there from such a minor observation of a 20-minute car ride gives me the ick for them. So then it's like a mutual, like, oh, okay, this probably shouldn't go anywhere. Because, like, if that's all it took, then I'm kind of out anyway. But, yeah, it's definitely prevalent. Any number of things can cause it. The quickest way to create cringe on a date or ick in any social situation, not just a date, is if you don't have the same sense of humor. Because stuff that you're doing that you genuinely think is funny and lighthearted will come off as like gross and confusing because they don't understand that you're joking. Like, that's like the quickest way for people to feel uncomfortable, is if you're very comfortable doing something because you think it's funny and they don't understand it's supposed to be funny, so you just look like a psychopath. There's also the male ick. Things that give guys the ick. There's some very common ones, but yeah. Yeah, I'd say that ick is similar to cringe, but it's not the same. I'd say the thing that... Actually, never mind. I'm just going to sound misogynistic. I'm not going to say that. Well, now I have to say it. The thing that always gives me the ick is when someone calls me. Like, I don't ask them out. They call me and they say, hey, do you want to go to this restaurant? And I'm like, sure. And then, like... God, I haven't dated in so long. But they'll be like, hey, do you want to try this restaurant? And you go, sure. And you meet them at the place that they suggested. And then they order like hundreds of dollars of stuff. And then the check comes and they just look at you like that. Like, I'm never hanging out with you again. Like, that's it. I'm never hanging out with you again. It's very funny. Yeah, probably. I need the new Tim Rogers video to come out. That's all I want. Alright, I gotta resolve this hand. Which is a shame. Because I quite like it, but I think it has to go. Because... well... they're not holding a spear, they're throwing energy strings. Can I get away with putting an energy string through the hand? Like he's doing this and it's kind of casting out of his hand. Which isn't how it casts, but... I'm gonna be honest, Chet, I don't want to repaint this hand. So I just kind of want to figure this out. think I can get away with it. If I make it not a straight line and I curve it up into it. I need to finish this piece. So repainting unnecessary things is something I want to avoid. Because that just takes up a ton of time. So we're gonna try this. Gonna curve it in. We're going to thank you, Sharky. How's everybody doing? What's everybody working on? I haven't asked you guys that in a while. How's everyone's lives going? What are you all working on? What are you all doing? If you're not working on anything, what do you want to be working on? So this is gonna be back here. Mermaid Girl and Sushi, great, kinda dark, love it. Taking a break, sketching zombies and monsters, great. Commissioned for a TTRPG, awesome. You want to be working on your comic or tattoo? Ooh, I'd love to see your tattoo stuff, gross girl. Dog looking at you, awesome. Sketchbook. Writing a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle at the moment, fantastic. Alice in Wonderland, very good. Oh my god. Another piece I need to finish, you just reminded me. Oh, will I ever finish this? Probably not. Wow. I am not going to color this. I forgot there was a potential color layer. Gross. Oh, look at this. Look at this nightmare. Look at this nightmare. Oh. The griffin's like, Vedivici. Very Italian griffin for some reason. I like the caterpillar. I was happy with the caterpillar. He's almost done. I liked him. Oh. Oh. My god. I'll never finish this. I'll never finish it. Oh. It'll never be done. God help me. Wow. Kill me. Kill me. Oh boy. Is there a way to get paid to drive around in the city at night with a coffee, listening to music like this? Talk about a dream job. No, I've never posted the Alice in Wonderland anywhere. I can throw it in Discord if you want, though. Do you want a piece? Do you want to use it for something? True. I should be Goslin maxing. Oh my god, it is Uber, you're right. If I just had this music turned up as loud as possible so my Uber passengers couldn't talk to me. Get all 1-star ratings. Just wearing sunglasses, driving around. Dropping them off at the wrong location a lot. Hell yeah. Oh. Yeah, Johnny. Are you in the Discord? Yeah, you are. I've seen you in the Discord. I've definitely seen you in the Discord. Oh! I'll post it in whips. Whips on the Discord. I'll post it in whips. Wow. Hold on. Alright, let's take a look. Yes, there it is. There it is. Alright. I will throw it in Discord whips. Now. Oh! There it is. In whips. Wow. Enjoy. There it is. Enjoy it. The one I dropped is a little different. Yeah. 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 What do we got? What's different? Spilled coffee. Oh my god. I think I could finish this in a week if I really, really tried. A little butterfly on his hat, see? Because that's what he turns into. Do you get it? Do you fucking get it? Do you guys get it? Oh, kill me. Anyway. Alright, I am not done streaming, but I do need to go relieve myself. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Save this real quick before I lose it all. Thank you for appreciating the heart silhouette. Thank you. Oh, I don't want Alice to be hot. She's supposed to be a 10-year-old girl. Shays. Oh my god, come on. Ugh. Oh. Oh. Thanks, Rye. Glad you like it. It was. I think I could finish that in like a solid week if I really tried. Am I making this up? Is the guy that wrote Jurassic Park the same guy that wrote Westworld? Does he just have like a weird fetish for like theme parks that go horribly wrong? Am I incorrect? Is it not the same author? Oh, I'm sorry, Malka. I'm very sorry. I'm extremely sorry. I did not mean to do that. I'm sorry you have COVID, too. What the fuck? It's the same dude? Hell yeah. So he just has a, like, super interest in theme parks that go wrong. I love that. Oh, tangent police. Can't share that edge in this 0.0000001% of my canvas. Can't do it. Oh boy. Do I think the cat could have a bigger grin? I mean, theoretically, yeah. Any Cheshire cat is the balance of finding how much grin is the right amount of grin. You'll have to let me know next time you're both out this way, Rai. I'd love to have you over for dinner again. Oh. Goodness. Good gracious. Oh. Yeah, rendering the thorns on the vines was... Let's be real, it was OCD. I didn't need to do that. I would love for that piece to be like a book, what do you call it? The inside of the front cover and the inside of the back cover, the images that are printed onto the actual like board. But I'd have to get rid of Alice, which is fine. I think Alice is the least interesting character in Alice in Wonderland. Hot take. But if I got rid of Alice in that piece and I divided it right down the middle and folded it, so it could be the inside covers, like a wraparound jacket type thing. That's kind of what I was going for, but then I added Alice at the last minute because it felt like she needed to be there. No, it's similar to a book plate. A book plate is on... I'm thinking of the end sheets. That's the term, the end sheets. A book plate is, it's like a print or a sticker that you put on the first loose leaf piece of the binding. So it says, like, this book belongs to this person. Or it's, like, printed by... There's book plates that show, like, who made a book versus who owns a book. But it's usually on a page. I'm talking about the stuff that's actually glued down to the board, which I believe is called an end sheet. The crying turtle? You talking about the mock turtle? The turtle with a with the head of a cow? I'll make pork belly for you anytime, Ryan. One of my favorite things to make. I think next time is going to be a brisket, though. Smoke you guys a brisket. Yeah, painting animals is way more fun than painting people. Probably because the flaws aren't as noticeable, but it's also just fun. Because they're covered in textures. There's always like scales or fur or like... There's always something you can play with that's like a texture element for the rendering. Whereas with people, we just have fucking stupid skin. Who cares? Who cares about skin? Not me. Oh, boy. Something you see on my police interrogation video. Who cares about skin? Not me. As far as I'm concerned, you can tear it all off. Shave it off. Get in there nice and close. Make everything smooth. The only way to be truly smooth is to get rid of the skin completely. Tell Malka in a bakery the other day in Providence, Rhode Island, I had something I've never had before that was delicious, called a Jewish apple cake. I have never heard of such a thing. I don't know if she has. I've never heard of it. And I love Jewish food. I've never heard of a Jewish apple cake. It was very good. It was like a coffee cake almost with apples in it. It had that kind of like more of a dense crumb, sort of like a coffee cake, where it's like thicker. Possibly made with something like sour cream, but very, very good. Shitty has a favorite letter, chill. Did you get a camera? Did it become sharper? It might just be because I moved my desk and I'm like closer to the computer. Maybe. That's my only guess. I haven't changed anything other than moving my setup. Also, good to see you, Spitboy. Could be better lighting, yeah. Maybe it's not the camera, maybe I'm just sharper. Just kidding, I haven't shaved in a month. I think I was backlit last time, yeah, that could be it. Maybe it was blowing the camera out. Good thinking. Okay. So maybe it's like a... Am I gonna get this wrong? I'm so sorry if I get this wrong. Is it a Rosh Hashanah thing? Oh. I would love to make a brisket. Also, if anyone else is a slut for Chipotle like me, Chipotle is one of the only things I can eat on my diet that's fast food. If anyone else is a Chipotle slut like me, the new brisket they have, the smoked brisket at Chipotle, is very good. I was shocked. Is it like Taco Bell? It's like Taco Bell if Taco Bell used real food. Taco Bell's very processed, which makes it cheaper, which is good if you like, you know, saving money. Eating on the cheap, Taco Bell's a good option. But for a little bit more money, you can get like real meat and real, you know, stuff. Actual vegetables. There you go. No matter how you come to this stream, you're leaving hungry. The reason I like Chipotle is exactly that reason, Shays. Chipotle is one of the only fast foods that uses like real meat. So like if I get something with a lot of protein, I don't get hungry later. If I get like, I always get the same thing when I go, typically, but now that the brisket's here, I've been getting the brisket. But typically I get a chicken bowl with double protein, so double chicken over cilantro rice with mild tomato cilantro salsa. And it's like 500 calories for like a good amount of protein. Like 500 calories for that much food is very low. It's a lot. It's a double portion of chicken, single portion of rice, and yeah, it's a very good meal. And it's about $13, I think. It's hard to say because I go there so often. They usually give me the double protein for free because I'm like a regular. But usually after my gym workout, after I do my 90-minute swim and my 60 minutes of weights, I'll usually go there and get that. That's usually what I have after. But yeah, it does add up. Fast food always adds up. For the $12 to $14 that costs me, I could make 3 of those at home. So what I typically eat most of my meals, I talked about this yesterday. What I typically eat, I had it today already once, I'm gonna have it again for dinner, is a pound of ground chicken that I stir fry so it's like hamburger. And then when it's done cooking, I add some Badia all-purpose seasoning and a can of fire roasted Rotel green chili and tomato. I cook that down till all the liquid's gone. Then I add taco seasoning and some shredded sharp cheddar cheese and a little bit of Cholula for heat. And I cook that down till it's thick, and then I just serve it over jasmine rice with some cilantro. And it's like, it's a ton of food. It's a whole pound of chicken and a full serving of rice. So it's like 1,000 calories. And I can have that 3 times a day and still be at my calorie, you know, goals. So I'm like never, when I have that at home, it's like a $5 meal. The chicken's like $3, the Rotel's like $1, and the rice is like $1. So it's like a $5 meal I can have at home that if I eat 2 of them in a day, I'm never hungry. 2 whole pounds of chicken. I'm always satiated. And it's very, very flavorful. So... It's very good. Do I want to crop that finger? Probably. Probably to make the hand more cohesive in the piece. Yeah, probably. I've actually, this past couple weeks, if you get a Trader Joe's near you, Trader Joe's makes a really, really good pumpkin pecan oatmeal. Or maple pecan, I can't remember. It's a seasonal oatmeal. I've been making that a lot, and I've been adding chopped pecans and golden raisins and like a little bit of honey and some protein powder. And man, really, really good. Really, really good oatmeal. Yeah, protein powder. Like a whey protein. Yeah, it helps. It helps get protein into things that don't have it. I think real, like, meat protein is better, but I'm not going to put meat into an oatmeal. I'm just not going to do it. I should really start making, what the fuck is it called? Muesli? The overnight oats? Popular in Europe. I love those. Those are very good. And I never make them. Oh my god, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, the best. Oh boy. Always the line tool. Always. Coming up on the 2-hour mark. I'm probably gonna go in a bit, not right away, because I gotta do dinner and go for a walk, because I can't go for a swim because the pool is full. So I gotta go for a walk, which is okay, because for some reason in Massachusetts today it's 80 degrees, even though it's almost November. And so, hey. When I finish this piece, I'm immediately going into the Snake Man piece. There won't be any time. There won't be any time. Oh my god. All these pieces. But yes, after that, sure. Oh my god, and then I gotta do Snow White. Oh no. So many pieces. Oh my god. Look at him. Look at him. Look at his face. kill me. Pygmy, I love you. Thank you for saying that. You know, like... Oh, actually, I just thought of the perfect metaphor. Fuck! You know what I feel like with all these paintings? I've got like 10 paintings that are like 90% done, and they're all huge like this. I feel like in Tetris, when you stack up everything on the side and you're saving that space for the line to get a Tetris, I feel like I've got enough for 2 lines and I'm getting really close to the top, and one of these days I'm gonna take off a month and just finish all these, and it's gonna feel like deleting the whole Tetris screen. And it's gonna feel so fucking good. Ugh. That's exactly what it feels like. Because the more of these I do, the more it feels like the pressure. It feels like that same pressure in Tetris when you're like getting way too close to the top. But like, all it's gonna take is that one thing to delete all of it. Because it's all really close to finished. Wouldn't that be edging? Wouldn't like getting really close to finishing a piece and then starting a new piece and never finishing, wouldn't that be edging my pieces and not gooning them? Listen, I don't know. Okay. You guys tell me. Am I edging or am I gooning? Pretty sure I'm edging. Pretty sure I'm edge maxing. I'm pretty sure when I finish all of them in 2 weeks, it's gonna be gooning. But hey, what do I know? Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on this piece. What are we, guys, what are we talking about here? Don't even get me started on finishing this piece. What are we even doing here? What's going on? What's happening? Guys, don't get me started on it. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Nothing matters in this world, guys. Nothing does. Don't get me started on this, guys. Don't worry about it. Who cares, dude? It's just art. No one gives a shit about art. No one cares. Who cares? Come on. Who cares if it's not done? Who gives a shit? Come on. Who cares? What are we doing here? Who gives a shit? What are we doing? Come on. No one cares. It's just art, guys. Guys, it's just art. It's not meant to be finished. It's just art. Guys. What's that, brother? Brother, ew. Ew, what's that, brother? I'm losing it. If a painting's 90% done on a hard drive and it's never shown to the public, was it ever truly a painting? Why is it making you self-conscious? Why? Paul Kidby. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah, I know Paul Kidby. Yeah. Yes. He did a Lovecraft piece that I liked a lot. Like a wizard running away with a bunch of like fish people. Yeah. Yeah, good shit. Oh, he did the famous painting of the turtle with the flat world on its back. I didn't know that was him. Yeah, Discworld. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Alright. Needs to go higher up. But that's okay. That's an easy transformation when it's done. Sharky, that's exactly how I feel about my good friend Dave Raposa, so I understand. You just have to bury that feeling down deep and keep going. In a lot of ways, my relationship with Dave is like the relationship in Amadeus, except I'm not trying to kill him yet. It's a lot like that. Where like I love him, but I hate how much I love him. But also like I want what he has, but also like I love him, but also maybe I should kill him. But mostly I admire him, but also he should probably die. But also, I just, mostly just respect him. But also, he sees all the colors. That's funny. I never thought of that as a reason to be mad at him. It's a very funny thing. I should say that. I gotta carve his eyes out of his skull and put them in my skull so then I can see all the colors. Wow. It's true. It's very true, Pygmy. Makes it all better. For those of you who care about these things, one of my favorite YouTube channels, called History Buffs, has a new video on Marie Antoinette, the movie. And I was shocked how many of the things in that movie I thought were just made up by Sofia Coppola were actually real. I was very shocked at how accurate the movie was in general. Good episode. Good episode about arguably one of my favorite time periods in all of human history. Thank you, Sharky. I mean, age has nothing to do with it, Sharky. Like, I look up to Miles, and he's way younger. Like, I remember when Miles was like 13, and he was like already like incredible at drawing. Like, I've always looked up to Miles. But yeah, it's got nothing to do with it. You can admire people for all kinds of reasons. They don't have to just be older. I'm so pumped. I finally get to meet Miles in December. I've known him for ever, and I've never met him in person. Who's Miles? Miles Johnston. He's a fine artist who, I've known forever online. Does really amazing surreal realism things. Really cool intentional tangents and optical illusions that are primarily rendered in pencil. But he does other mediums too. Yeah, his stuff's great. He's very like modern MC Escher. There's a lot of MC Escher, and there's a lot of Junji Ito and other influences in there. Brad Rigney did start when he was 30, and he didn't start getting work until he was 35. Yes, it's okay to admire young, innocent British boys with effeminate features, and to, you know, groom them to be the artist you want them to be, you know, to send them praise and condition them to want your approval, you know, make them need it in a lot of ways. And then to pull away right when they start getting success so they feel like they did something wrong. So that no matter how successful their career is, they feel like they haven't earned it or they don't deserve it because you're not there sharing it with them. It's very important to throttle your praise to get what you want, you know. Miles has a gallery show coming up in December in New York City, which I will be going to, so I can physically touch him. Yeah, should be a good time. He is my Pepito. That's what I've called him ever since he was a boy. My young Pepito. I'm really, really happy for Miles. Miles was struggling for a bit, and it all worked out amazingly. Miles got really, really good in an era where it wasn't really viable to be a fine artist yet because Instagram hadn't really taken off, and like people were still very forum based, and all the jobs that were out there were basically just like tabletop RPG stuff and card art stuff and working for video games. And like Miles was very, very technically skilled and very, very classically trained with like atelier type stuff, and he got work, but he never enjoyed it. And he was like, I really want to just do like fine art. And like back then it wasn't easy to do that because finding an audience was basically impossible, you know, unless you had like an agent or something who was sending your stuff into magazines and getting publishing deals and stuff. Like finding people who would pay money for fine art was really tough before Instagram. And I remember he got a job for, I believe it was Dungeons and Dragons, and he sent me the stuff and he was like, I really don't like this and I don't know how to make it better, and like I can draw the bodies and I can draw the armor and stuff, but like I don't, drawing the goblins and the monsters and things feels like I'm forcing it, like it's not really fun for me. And I was like, it really sucks, like it looks really great, but like he wasn't having fun with it. And then, you know, the social media kind of explosion happened, and it allowed him to, because everybody was basically saying he you know, you're not going to make a living as a fine artist because it's too difficult to find an audience, like you're going to need a ton of luck to do that. And then the, you know, the social media like explosion happened, and now he's got like over 1 million followers, and he's like self-sustained and making a ton of money on art, and people collect his prints, and like he's a big deal. And like that was always his passion. And just watching that whole journey from like he wanted to do it, he tried to find ways to make a living because it wasn't quite possible to do it, and then it became something that he's like known for. He's like an industry luminary for it, and it's just like, it's so satisfying to see because he worked so hard to get there and he always stuck with it, and he didn't compromise. Like he could have easily just been a guy that drew really well and took a studio job at some video game company that we never heard from again. He could have easily just become a salary guy that was good at doing concept art but didn't enjoy it, but just took it because it's safe and it's a job. And like he didn't do that. He stuck with it, and like it's super cool to see. Super, super cool to see. I wish that level of success on everyone. It's just, yeah, it's just super cool. Because, like, he kind of knew what he wanted to do since he was, like, a kid. I think he started posting on the concept art forums when he was, like, 14. And everybody who was on concept art at the time, like, knew him. Because he had a really good body of work, even for a kid. And, yeah, it's just cool to see it work out. Same thing with Sam Carr. Miles and Sam are friends, kind of like how me and Dave are friends. They grew up together. It's nice to see Sam finding success with his Eternal Ruins thing. Because, like, I've known Sam for a really long time, and even though I haven't talked to Sam in a couple of years, I really love him as a person, and I love his art, I always have. Back when I was doing freelance and getting a lot of offers I didn't have time to take, when I had stuff that Sam would be a good fit for, I'd always throw work at him, but it's just, he always had more fun world building and designing stuff, and it's nice to see him find a way to do that. It's always nice to see people find a way to do the thing they actually want to do. Yeah, Sam's great. I love Sam. Sam was the first ever Golden Boy back when we did the Golden Boy streams. He was, yeah. Back when we did Crimson Daggers. But yeah, Sam's always been really, really good at what he does. But he never felt like he could find a way to do exactly the thing he wanted to do and have it be viable. It's so nice to see that change. Yeah, Sam Carr. Love Sam Carr. Love him to death. Oh. I mean, most of the way I paint is ripping off line decker, so doing it in line art, Ryan, I don't know. I don't know how I would do it. I'd like to switch back to drawing when I get over into clip after these pieces are done. I think drawing in clip will be a lot easier. I might also get a Cintiq finally to aid me in my quest of learning how to draw again. I mean, like, I have some old drawings right here. Oh! Like, these are more Atelier style. Oh! Can I... Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. This isn't really how I paint, though. It's more smudgy, softy. Yeah, I want to get back into drawing. I think it's the only way to get out of the trap I'm in, because I'm in a trap, and I will not get out of it unless I force myself to stop painting. I'm using hyper detail and rendering as a shield to distract from my flaws in my work. I have to strip back down to simpler stuff to address the fundamental problems. Going good. Good to see you, York. If I ever go back to ink, a big influence for these Elden Ring pieces I'm doing was Aaron Horkey. I love Aaron Horkey. I've got Aaron Horkey's Lord of the Rings posters in my basement. His Lord of the Rings posters were kind of the influence for these. These are a little more detailed, but that's kind of the vibe. I'd like to try doing some line art that feels like Aaron Horkey's stuff. If I can. That's kind of the direction I'd like to go. I'll pull one up for chat. So, stuff like this. This is all pen and ink. But yeah, when I switch back over to line art, I'd like to do some stuff like this. Which I know I can do. I know I can do this. It's gonna take a lot of patience, and it's gonna take a lot of self-control to not jump into rendering. But I know I can do this. I can achieve this if I set my mind to it. This is an achievable goal. So, and it would make these pieces go by so much quicker. Like, this would have been done forever ago if it was just line art. That's Aaron Horkey. Horkey. Yeah, his stuff's great. I've been looking at a lot of him, and I've been looking at a lot of, fuck, who's the Mondo guy? Fuck. Who's the Mondo guy? Killian Eng? Yes. Been looking at a lot of Killian Eng. I think I'd like to segue into being more like those two people. Which I think I can do. I think. Specifically, I like all of Killian Eng's stuff, but some of it I like way more. Specifically the stuff he did for Shadow of the Colossus and The Last Guardian. That kind of line art with like wash. That's the kind of stuff I look at with him that makes me really excited. I'm probably going to get off of here and go eat because it's coming up on 5:30. Dinner at 6. But maybe I'll be back again for another stream tonight. I did one last night, but I wasn't talking, so I don't think anyone really stopped by. which I understand completely. But yeah, I'll probably be back later. If not, I'll be streaming all day tomorrow. I was going to stream all day today, but then I was pleasantly surprised to see Dave and Marco having a talk, so I figured I would tune into that instead. But yeah, love y'all. I will see you soon, either tonight or tomorrow. And yeah, let me do a quick on and off to look at this. Everything on this rot one is so messy. Yeah, okay, we're getting somewhere. Love y'all. See you soon.